Hey guys, we're getting ready for our first session of premarital counseling.
This was something that was actually suggested by my preacher, and we felt like it was a good idea because we know that so many marriages fail nowadays, and we want to make sure that we start our marriage off on the right track.
As a prerequisite, our preacher asked us to get this book and read it.
If you're not familiar with this book, this is The 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman. You've probably heard of this before. It's a very common, very popular book. It's actually a pretty simple concept. It just works off the concept that everybody has a primary love language, a primary way that they feel like they receive love. And this is about discovering not only what your primary love language is, but more importantly, what your partner's primary love language is, so you can be sure that you show them affection in the right ways. And there's 5 basic languages there. What are they?
Words of affirmation.
And that would be like for me to say, oh, you're beautiful. You do such a good job with this. You do such a good job with that. You do such a good job as a mother, just affirming your partner and giving them words of affirmation.
Acts of service. That would be, hey, I went and washed your car for you, babe.
Yeah, right, exactly. Just some kind of act of service for somebody. And then we have receiving gifts, which is this is not necessarily big gifts. Some people just feel really loved whenever they receive just a note, a card, a flower, any kind of little thing that just lets you know that you're thinking about them. And it could include big gifts as well.
Quality time.
And what would that be?
That would be when I'm sitting and giving you my undivided attention while you're telling me all about your day, or we're taking a walk in the park, we're on a date, just enjoying each other's time.
Right, just hanging out together. It's not really about what you're doing, it's about being together while you're doing that. That's quality time.
Undivided attention.
And then the last one is
physical touch. Physical touch. And that doesn't mean sexual intimacy.
Right.
That means
just like this, right?
Yeah.
Just
holding hands.
give her a hug.
That
holding
means
hands.
just showing affection with touch. That could be a back rub. That could be just holding hands and enjoying each other.
So the premise of this book is that everybody has a primary love language, not one love language. We all have multiples, but everybody has a primary love language. And if you can discover what that is, what that love language is, that primary love language that your partner has, then you can ensure that they always feel loved, because you do that. Now, these don't always come naturally. If you're a person, for example, let's say your partner has their primary love language is physical touch, but you're not a real touchy-feely kind of person, it's going to be something you're going to have to work at, but you can learn it. And I think that's the biggest lesson I learned from this book, was that you have to be open, even if it's not something that you enjoy. You're not doing it for yourself. No. You're doing it for your spouse, your partner, whoever that is. So anyway, like you said, we read this whole book this week.
Yes.
So part of the process of reading this book is you're supposed to discover your own primary love language as well as your partner's primary love language. So now we're going to play a game. We're going to try to guess what each other's primary love language is. So do you want to go first or do you want me to?
Well, I'm having trouble with this. I've been kind of thinking about it all week, and I don't really know. I know that you're not, gift giving is not your primary love language.
Nope,
because I can eliminate that.
Yep, that's the lowest one on my list, actually.
Yes. I'm kind of thinking physical touch is part of yours, but it may be acts of service.
Close.
Uh-oh.
Close. So I think in order of what my primary is, my very top one.
Yes.
What I've thought so far anyway, we'll go through this a couple times and refine it, but what I've thought so far, my primary love language is quality time.
Okay.
Second, very close second, is physical touch. So that's, there's a quiz you can take. We'll put a link down below so you can go online. You can take your own profile and you can kind of figure out what yours is. Let's see, yours, I've been thinking about this, trying to figure out, and I think probably, like you said, you don't know for sure yet,
yes,
but you can probably rank them a little bit.
Yes.
I think probably physical touch ranks very high for you.
Yes,
and I think probably another one would be words of affirmation. Am I pretty close?
Very close, and I'm not sure if I trust the test totally, because it's in my top 3. physical touches. Or you said physical touch.
I said physical touch and words of affirmation.
My second one. Words of affirmation, while I love, actually acts of service is
Acts of
actually my
service is your
top,
first.
which is strange. But I think if a lot of women will take this, it means tons. If you're a mom, that is so big. Even though it seems like it's not like a feeling of love, but when your partner does the laundry, does the dishes, make sure the kids are in bed, I think that's huge.
See, that's why it's good to do this, because now you know, and now I know that if I want to do something special for her, I can do something simple like an act of service for you, and that helps. So anyway, we're going to go back through this a couple of times. We'll figure it out, but right now we've got to go meet with the preacher, and we're going to go do our premarital counseling. So we'll get back with you. Open to trying new things with me. And I think a big example of that is I make you get in front of the camera and shoot YouTube videos, and I know that's an incredibly uncomfortable thing for you, but
You will help me with projects or chores without any problems. You can be trusted with money and with my children, which are
Anyway, you have to let Christ win. And that's one of the hardest things for us to do, because we want
to win, right?
We want to
human
win.
nature to
It is.
take over.
Yeah. The good thing is you don't need to worry about losing your hair at this stage of
No,
life.
I embrace that.
Yeah. I'm still in denial. Yeah.
Well, that was I think it was a good session. What about you?
It was.
It was a good session. We got to let's see, we talked about a few things, learned a few things about each other.
Yes. We are to pray together in the morning and at night and read some scripture together.
Yep.
Out loud. Try to find 3 different things to pray about for each other each day.
Yep, so it doesn't become stagnant, doesn't become just a routine, that we're going to pray for each other there.
Focus on spiritual life instead of physical health.
Yep. Also talked about how to deal with conflict as it arises. We know that we'll have conflict. We know that things are going to come up. And a couple other things. We got another session set up in, next weekend, right?
Saturday.
Next Saturday, we're going for another session. So all in all, I think it's good. I think it's good preparation for marriage. If you are planning on getting married, I suggest that you do seek out some premarital counseling. I think it's a good way to make sure that you are prepared to enter into marriage.
Open up some lines of communication you haven't thought of.
Yep, absolutely. All right, well, thank you guys very much for watching this video, and as always, God bless.
God bless.